speaker works in the space of healthcare and conscious living. Her work highlights the importance of mindful approach to well-being, particularly in the journey of pregnancy and natural childbirth. As a founder of Blooming Belly, she brings a perspective rooted in care, awareness, and informed choice. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Harini Mariappan to the dais.
6 years before, I witnessed something that completely changed the way I think about childbirth. A pregnant woman called me and asked me if I could help her in labor. She told me that she's getting contractions. Contractions is labor pain. She's getting contractions in every 10 minutes once. And she'll reach the hospital in 20 minutes. When I reached hospital, I saw her sitting on the cot calmly and smiled at me. We started chatting casually. She again told me that she is getting contractions every 10 minutes. But when I quietly timed it, it was actually 3 minutes apart. She is very calm, so even the time felt different to her. After some time, she went to bathroom, and she came back. She told me, "My water just got broke." And I think I could feel the baby's head. I was like, what? Then the entire medical team started preparing for her delivery. I went out to call her husband so that he could stay with her during labor. It was them. When I was at the doorstep calling her husband, I could see something is popping out here. I turned to my side, and it was her. I asked her, "What are you doing here?" She smiled and told me, "I'm just looking for my husband." I was amazed. How could a woman in pushing stage of labor can stand at the doorstep looking for her husband quietly? That moment stayed with me because it revealed something more powerful. Labor is not just physical, it is deeply influenced by the mind. Hi, I'm Dr. Harini, a naturopathic physician. Today, I support women in their pregnancy and childbirth. But my journey into childbirth began with lots of fear. When I was in my college days, in my third year of my college, I witnessed childbirth for the first time. I expected something beautiful, but the room was so intense and overwhelming. At that time, I told to myself very clearly that I'm not going to bring my babies into this world like this. Years later, I met the man who is now my husband. I told him one thing very seriously. I will only marry you if you promise me to stay beside me during the childbirth and support me in a natural birth. Thankfully, he said yes. Years later, when I became pregnant with my first daughter, we traveled everywhere, nearly about 5,000 kilometers, in search of a center that respected natural birth. We found a hospital that supported water birthing. Despite of all my preparations and hope, fear entered my mind. The pain was overwhelming, and I couldn't able to manage my contractions. That moment, after my child was born, I turned to my husband and told him very clearly, no second baby. But the experiences we resist comes back to us as a teacher. So my son became a teacher for me. After a year, I was again pregnant. So this time, fear became curiosity. I attended childbirth workshops and studied about physiology of birth. After learning everything, not everything, after learning all these things, what I found was very surprising to me, because labor is not just physical. It is influenced by fear, safety, environment, and mindset. Most of the childbirth educators explain this as fear, tension, pain cycle. When a woman is full of fear, her body can secrete adrenaline hormones, which can tighten the muscles. The tightened muscles can create an overwhelming pain experience. When the mother is feeling more pain, her fear can increase and the cycle may continue. At the same time, when a woman is relaxed and comfortable, the hormones like endorphins and oxytocin may get secreted. Endorphins helps the mother to comfort during labor, and oxytocin helps her labor to progress naturally. So after learning everything, after supporting many women, and with my own experience of birth, so this is my clinic. They are my clients. So after learning everything, I found there are some factors that can shape the childbirth. So that's me and my husband. This picture was taken when I was in early stage of labor in my second pregnancy. So I call these factors as the 5 powers of birth. The first power is relaxation. Relaxation can be a most helpful tool for a pregnant woman to practice in labor. The woman I described in the beginning, she showed this to me beautifully. She was already close to her birth, but since she is very calm and could manage the labor contractions, her labor felt very different than we often imagine. So that's the power of relaxation. The second power is the power of safety. Once I supported a woman who arrived at the hospital with strong contractions and very good labor progress. But after she arrived at hospital, her labor contractions slowed down. We tried walking, exercises, movements, but nothing worked. I felt something deeply is happening within her. So I took her to a quiet place where she could talk freely. I asked her What is going on within you? Suddenly, she burst out in tears. She told me she's very scared of vaginal examination. I explained why it is important and reassured her. I also communicated this to the medical team to make sure that she is having a comfortable and respected birth. In some time, her muscles relaxed, her contractions returned, and in few hours, she gave birth to her baby beautifully. When fear appeared, the labor progress slowed down. When safety returned, labor progressed naturally. The third power is power of preparation. In my second pregnancy, I prepared myself differently. I practiced relaxation, I practiced yoga, exercises, dance, of course, and breathing exercises. I trained my body and I also trained my mind as much as my body. I took nourished foods. When my labor began, I breathed through my contractions. I relaxed my muscles than resisting them. I could even breastfeed my first daughter between the contractions. The power of preparation will give you more confidence to face the labor and to have a relaxed environment within you. The fourth power is the power of purpose. I had a very simple purpose attached to my birth during my second delivery. The purpose was I didn't want to disturb my husband because in my first delivery, I made him to pour more than 50 buckets of hot water on my hips to manage my labor contractions. At last, when my baby was born, he looked more exhausted than I did. So this time, I didn't want to disturb him because he has a very big job of taking care of my first daughter. So I told to myself that I have to manage the contractions quietly. The studies in neuroscience also suggest when pain is attached to a meaning, the brain processes it differently. And the fifth power is power of understanding the birth. Once a woman in labor, she was at hospital. Her labor progressed very good. She had strong contraction and everything went on smoothly. After some time, we could see the baby's heartbeat is dropping. The obstetrician told that we can't wait longer. So I have to convey this to her, to the mother. I went to the mother and told her very slowly that this is happening. She looked to me very calmly, and what she told was like surprising for me. She told me, "Ma'am, you don't worry. My baby is doing good. It is only me who is tightening the muscles, and I think because of that, the baby's heartbeat is dropping. From next contraction, I will relax my muscles and let's see what's happening. Can you give me some time?" So I communicated this to the obstetrician, and we waited for some time. Little later, from the next contraction itself, she started to relax her muscles. And little later, we could see the baby's heartbeat is getting more stable. That incident taught me that the mother who had the understanding about the physiology of the birth and learned about herself and the way she connected with herself and to her baby is more essential for a birth. Being a naturopath, naturopathy also teaches when the right environment is created, body heals and regulates itself. Body has the high intelligence to do that. My dream is simple. Before telling my dream, I just want you to watch this. Okay. So this was a mother who danced with excitement when we told her she was fully dilated. She was so excited to meet her baby in few minutes. Okay. That slide is actually, she was singing to her baby, just born baby. And you could see when she is singing, the baby will stay calm. Baby won't cry. And when she stops singing, it will start crying. So that's a beautiful connection between the mom and the baby during birth. So my dream is simple. A world where women could enter her birth feeling safe, supported, and well informed so that we could bring healthier future generations. Being a mom of two, I'm deeply grateful that they didn't just birth through me. They reshaped the way I think about the childbirth, motherhood, and the life itself. Thank you.